Hi, Mark here from newhometricks.com, and today I want to talk a little bit about using Philips Hue Outdoors. Now, if you remember from one of my previous unboxing videos, you'll know that we got hold of some Philips Hue white bulbs. These are a little bit different from the white and colour ambience bulbs that we've already got set up indoors. Those bulbs do full colour changing, and you can adjust the colour temperature of white light. They're quite sophisticated. At the other end of the range, the Philips Hue white bulbs, they have none of those capabilities, but you can still adjust brightness, but they don't have colour or colour temperature adjustments. You're simply capable of changing the brightness and turning them on and off within the Philips Hue system. There is a third product in the range, which is the Philips Hue white ambience bulbs. These bulbs allow you to change the colour temperature of white light, but they don't have full colour changing. The Philips Hue white bulbs that we've got for outdoors, these are much more affordable than some of the more sophisticated products in the Philips Hue range. So they're great for areas of the house where you might not need that level of sophistication, including outdoors. And they're also great if you're on a tight budget. Now in our case, we've installed these outdoors, as I mentioned. We've got one set up outside our side door entrance to the property, one set up near a front gate, and another installed near our garage and driveway. Now, these products aren't explicitly supported by Philips as outdoor bulbs, but then again, this is pretty much similar to any light bulb. They're not going to be rated as weatherproof, so you'll need to install them, as we've done, inside some sort of enclosure to provide that level of protection. Now that they're installed and they've been joined to our Philips Hue system, we can of course control these bulbs in all of the normal ways that we've been able to control our Philips Hue system so far. That's through the app, through wireless light switches like the Philips Hue tap switch. Of course, we can use things like Siri, Cortana on Windows. We've now got our Amazon Echo up and running. I'm going to share with you in a future video and post how you can use an Amazon Echo to control your smart lighting. But of course, for outdoor lights, you might want these to operate in a more automated fashion. And there are certainly several ways that you can do that with smart lighting, and in our case, Philips Hue. There are about 3 different methods that I can think of that I'm going to run through with you now. You can use time-based activation, you can use geolocation or presence-based activation of your lights, or you could use motion detection. Time-based activation is, of course, perhaps the simplest to achieve and is very easy to do inside the Philips Hue system. You can, of course, use a routine to turn the lights on at a time of your choosing and then off again at another time of your choosing. The only problem with that is, of course, the time that you might want the lights coming on and then switching off again might vary throughout the year based on the lengthening and shortening of the days throughout the seasons. So there's another way that you can do this, and that's to use the sunset to sunrise formula currently available in Hue Labs. Now, this does exactly what it sounds like. It turns the lights on at sunset and then switches them off again at sunrise, or optionally turns the lights off again at a time of your choosing. In our case, this is the system that we're using at the moment. We're using this formula to turn the lights on at sunset and then switch the lights back off again at around about midnight. Now, some of the other methods that you could use include geolocation or presence. Now, with this system, you're going to be using the home and away functionality built into Philips Hue. Now, this is designed to turn the lights on when you arrive home and then turn the lights back off again when you leave. And the built-in capability of Philips Hue allows for this to only happen after sunset. So this is built right in, it doesn't require a formula. However, one of the things that does require a formula at the moment from Hue Labs is if you want multi-user geolocation. Now, what this means is that you don't want the system turning the lights off if one person leaves home but another person stays behind. And this is something that we have found does happen with the built-in home and away capability. So Philips Hue have added the multi-user geolocation capability in Hue Labs to allow you to have some control over that. Another thing that you might want with the geolocation or presence capabilities here is the lights to turn back off again after a certain period of time has elapsed. So you arrive home, the lights come on automatically, but you might want the lights to go back off again after 5, 10, 15 minutes, something like that. Again, this is something that you'll need to turn to Hue Labs for at the moment. Philips have a formula simply called Welcome Home with Auto Off. And with this, you can define that certain lights should turn themselves back off again automatically after a certain period of time has elapsed. So it adds that capability to have the lights only be on for a temporary period of time. Now the third and final approach is motion, and this is where things get a little bit more complicated. Obviously Philips have their motion sensor, but again, this isn't weatherproof. So unless you have a convenient location like a porchway where you could install a Philips Hue motion sensor, then it might be quite difficult to install this outdoors. Not to mention the fact that, of course, the Philips Hue motion sensor doesn't directly screw into the wall, it uses that magnetic bumper. So if it fell off or somebody simply pulled it off, there's nothing really going to be stopping that from happening because it's simply attached magnetically. And so for outdoor use, might not be so suitable. However, the Philips Hue motion detector does have certain capabilities built in that would be quite desirable, such as the ability to have the lights go off automatically after a certain time delay. That's built into the Philips Hue motion sensor settings. You could use other systems to do this. So for example, we've got the new Ring video doorbell that we installed very recently. That has motion sensing capabilities. And we could use something like the if this then that service to create an applet that says whenever motion is detected on the Ring doorbell, turn the lights on. The only downside here is that that would happen 24 hours a day, even during daylight. And there's not really any way that I can see to define that the lights should go off again after a certain period of time has elapsed. So until if this then that add multi-action applets to their system, I can't really see an easy way of doing that. If you know of a better way of doing this with third-party motion sensing devices, please reach out to me and let me know in the comments or send me a message through the website. But those are the three different routines, the three different approaches that you might want to make use of to turn the lights on for your exterior lighting using your smart lighting system. Now, as mentioned at the moment, we're using the sunset to sunrise formula in Philips Hue. I'm going to have a play around with the other methods and see if they can work better for us, or see if I can find some additional functionality that I've not been able to find so far. And I will come back with more later once I've had a play around with it. But that's how we've got it up and running for now. I have written up a companion blog post if you'd like to read more details about our setup. You can find the link for that in the description below, or have a look at the website, newhometricks.com. If you have enjoyed this video, please do share it. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.